Hello and welcome to your Wednesday advanced training call. My name is Jared Krebs and I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. And before we bring on our special guest for today, I want to remind you of 10 things to expect when building your USANA business. Number one, there will be ups and downs, just like everything. Number two, success or failure is up to you. If you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you. Not USANA, not your upline, not the comp plan. Success or failure is up to you. Number three, the goal is for you to become independent and be an independent leader and example for your team. Number four, make your plan on the weekends. Do it, review it, and make adjustments. Plan, do, review, and adjust. Number five, it's going to take time. It's going to take 1 year to become competent at the skills to do this. 3 years to develop a significant part-time income, 5 years to develop a significant full-time income, and 7 years to become world-class. It can happen faster, but you have to think of this like an asset, okay? Like something that you're developing. So it's going to take time. Number six, it takes consistent work and hustle. You have got to be consistent working, prospecting, just like you would at a job. Number seven, you're going to have to grow and get outside of your comfort zone. Number eight, mental toughness is necessary. Number nine, the grass is not greener in other companies. The grass is greener where you water it. And number 10, this is a long-term game. USANA is 28 years strong with over $2.5 billion paid to its associates. It's given me and my wife a full-time income for over a decade because it works if you work. And bonus tip, amateurs sell products, but professionals sell the vision. Make sure you're sharing these recordings with your clients, with inviting your clients onto this. Let them see that USANA is so much more than just a great product. It's a great business opportunity. It's a great tax shelter. It's a great community. It's a great way to have personal growth and development. It's a great way to have friends. And few have done it as well as Steph Hacker, who's from Nova Scotia, Canada, on the east coast of Canada. Steph, welcome to the show.
So this is not your first rodeo. You just went through those tips like lightning speed.
I have them right here. I actually set them right by my my camera. And yeah, so we do these every Wednesday. We remind everyone. So
I love it. They're all, and I agree with all of those. They're so good. So good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We got them from Eric Worre's GoPro book. Shout out Eric Worre in the back of the book, Getting Started Right, those 10 things.
Perfect.
Well, Steph, thank you so much for being here. You know, not everybody knows you or knows your story on this team, but you're very well known in Canada and also in the whole United States with all the teams on the East Coast. And with being an all-star associate, huge congratulations. That means that she was selected by corporate as one of the fastest growing, most serious associates in Canada. And so y'all are about to hear an awesome story, and Steph, take it away. We want to know how you got where you are and what your life was like before, and we're all ears.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Jared, and I'm really excited to be here. I see a couple of my girls here, so welcome, girls. And I'm just really excited to be exposed to your team, Jared, because I see what you're doing. You and Crystal are just on it. You're such amazing role models in this company. And I'm just, again, very delighted to be here with you and your energy and learning from you guys. It's awesome. And that's one of the beauties of the business is the collaboration part. So thank you. So like Jared said, I'm Steph Packer and I am in the East Coast of Canada. We just dodged a hurricane. I warned Jared, I wasn't sure if I was going to have power today, but it was good. It was all good. I'm in a super small town, a little rural coastal town called Hackett's Cove. Don't even know what the population is. It's pretty small. And it's where I've lived for a number of years and I've been building my USANA business. So up until that point, though, there, of course, is a story. And essentially, we'll go back about 12 years. So I started as a holistic nutritionist on my journey 12 years ago. For my own personal health quest. I was a bit of a mess with allergies and asthma and just not feeling my best. So I really just kind of put a signal out to the universe. I'm like, please give me a sign. How do I help myself? Because what I was doing to that point was not working. And just completely randomly, but not, it was very synchronistic. I was at home one night, the TV, I don't even know the channel, what it's called, but it shows you what's on at what channel, what time. And an ad popped up for a nutrition school, a holistic nutrition school. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm really drawn to this. And fast forward, I called the school. I found out it was exactly what I was looking for. And I went on this quest to really feel incredible. By the end of that course, I felt so good. I had to share that with other people. Now, the problem was the program that I went into did not give me any business information or knowledge. So I was just kind of out there throwing spaghetti at the wall trying to figure this out. So I had the passion, the knowledge, but I was missing a really key part of how do I actually make a viable plan out of this and help the people that I really want to help and that need me. And there was a big disconnect, like a super big disconnect. So again, because I speak to the universe, is like, listen, you got to give me a sign here, like point me in a direction. And I actually stumbled upon USANA. And at the time, I was living in Ontario for just a year. I just had this big life change. I bought a one-way ticket, left Nova Scotia, went to Ontario, met Leanne Jacobs, who is my sponsor. Didn't know her, didn't know anything about USANA, knew nothing about network marketing, but I met her, and every single thing she said, and actually, let me rewind. It wasn't even what she was said, it was the feeling I got from her. I was like, whatever this woman is doing, I need a piece of that. And it really just started to fall into place. And everything she was saying, I'm like, yes, this, and I didn't even know at the time that was my vision for my own life. So the visionary part that you mentioned, Jared, like that is absolutely what she embodied. And I said, I was like, I don't know what this is. I hear she's talking about some product. I don't even know. I don't even care. I just want what she has. It was that magnetic. And so then as life would have it, I signed up for the business, but then I moved back to Nova Scotia and I completely lost touch with all things USANA. I was still taking the product. So it was just more so like, I was more so a PC, but I had a business. And I was really kind of just dormant, stagnant with my business. Didn't touch the business for close to 3 years. So of course, again, another life turn. I was like, I got to figure something out here. I just was not happy with what I was doing. I was doing nutrition consults, but it was just like, you know, that urge that you feel when you're like, I'm meant to do something bigger. I'm meant to do something with a larger impact. I love Jared's like, you're good over there, Jared. I like it. And that's when I finally decided that I had to make this work. Like I knew there was something there because I would still go back to it. I would watch Leanne's webinars, the health and freedom webinars every Monday night. I was in it energetically, but I didn't touch the business. And I think that actually really saved me. And this, I tell my team this all the time. I'm like, even if you can't quite see the vision or feel like you need the business right now, at least join the trainings, at least take the products, at least be exposed to some capacity with the USANA lifestyle, because there will be a time when you're going to need it. And that's precisely what happened with me, 100%. So the stars aligned, it clicked, I decided, and I said, let's go. And I went gold in about 2 years. And that was all from building on social media. So that's another part that people always ask me is like, well, how did you do it? Like, I don't see you doing meetings. I don't see you doing events. I did it all on social media. And I did it just by sharing my lifestyle, my goals, my visions, my dreams, really like putting it out as like attraction marketing. Law of attraction. I'm a huge believer in that, like putting out what you want to receive back. And I just said, I'm like I see this vision with USANA. I love it. I see it so clearly, and I'm going to just embody it and represent it, put it out there. And before I knew it, I was growing a team of people that did the same thing I did with Leanne. They're like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what this is that you're talking about. I don't know what network marketing is, but I want to do what you're doing because you seem very happy and healthy and all the things that a lot of people are really kind of lacking. So that in a nutshell is my story. I had a very slow start and then it clicked. I decided, and the rest is history. I mean, my life from then to now is it's not the same person, not even remotely close in terms of my level of health, my confidence, my finances. There's not even a comparison of the person who I was back then to I am now. And I'm so grateful for that. I guess that's it right there.
Wow. I love what you have to say about like when you were dormant, quote unquote, you still got on the Monday trainings that Leanne was doing, and you were still plugged in a way.
Yeah.
And that, you said that kind of what, I guess you were still taking the products, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I was taking the products. I was noticing a big difference. I really started with the digestive products because my digestion personally was it was a bit of a mess. And I think part of it too, because I was a holistic nutritionist and there's this fear about, I don't want to be the vitamin sales girl. I don't want to be that girl that's just pushing vitamins. Although there was so many other things that were encompassing what I offered, mindset, lifestyle. But I think for a while I had to get over myself and say, okay, I'm not just pushing vitamins. Like I genuinely believe in these. They're helping me. And it was the digestive line that really got me feeling incredible. And after I noticed that transformation in myself, I was like, okay, I am confident that I'm going to sell. Going to sell and share and just not even be apologetic about this because people need this.
Yeah. And it was that the digestive enzyme product that you're talking about?
The enzymes and the probiotics and HEPA.
Hepicel. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's very exciting to hear, like, that it had such a profound effect on your health. And that is what was like your foundation going into your belief and sharing it with people. And yeah, that's a great notice for everyone watching, right? Because if you believe in the products and if you have that really foundation, then you build off of that. And then of course, like I love what you said about Leanne Jacobs. It wasn't even about like USANA, it was about Leanne.
Yeah.
And that's really what everyone needs to hear is people don't buy USANA, they buy you. So working on your mindset, working on your energy, being the best person you can be. No one's perfect. No one has like everything going perfect all the time. But like, when you raise your vibration and things like that, I mean, you just, people come because people want to have that. And we're the light, like in this dark world a lot of times, like with what we offer and inviting people to these webinars. So can you share with us a little bit about like your social media strategy and talking about building a brand? Because again, you're not building the USANA brand. This is a USANA webinar for our clients and associates, but I don't wear this shirt on my personal timeline, right? Like, so talk about the brand and building the brand of Steph Packer and how can people do that with their own brand?
I'm glad you brought that up because I see a lot of people that get very hung up on this. They're just like, well, they think they have to basically be blasting USANA products company constantly all day long. And in fact, I find that not that I don't like, I think USANA deserves to be in every spotlight, in every corner, everywhere. It's incredible. But it really does come down to you as the person. So when you embody the values of health, integrity, just abundance mindset, it comes down to us first, and then that is going to overflow. And of course, everything about USANA is the foundation of my lifestyle. I take their products, like I joke with my team, I'm like, I think I'm either using or consume on a product every 30 minutes, whether it's a Rev, the hand cream, a shake, the supplements. Like it is part of my DNA. It's who I am. Exactly. But someone that's not in the USANA bubble, that's not where we are, and I've already seen and experienced this, a lot of the times that's going to be a bit of a turnoff because they're going to just see loud and like in your face of like, oh, this girl's just like, they don't get it. They don't understand it. So when you can instead embody the lifestyle, represent the company, and take the products religiously, then it really does something with your energy and your aura, and it starts to bring people into your circle. And again, they'll start asking questions. So it's almost like you're the billboard for your business, you're the brand for your business, by creating a little bit of mystique. Like people are a little like they're just drawn to you because they just don't actually know. And I find that creates a lot more conversation for me because people will be drawn to what I'm talking about or what I'm offering. But it opens up a doorway for me to be able to really get to know them first and foremost before I've just already, tried to sell them a product. I want to get to know them. What is their need? What is like the solution that we can really align with them? And I think to answer your question, that is really how I've done it, more so than being online a USANA representative, like, and again, I wish I wish that I could just be like USANA, but it just doesn't always mesh well with everybody if they're not already on the other side and have experienced the products, the culture, the integrity of the company.
Really good, really good. You're totally right. We have to create curiosity, right? And like even on the stories, sometimes the stories of me and Crystal playing Dr. Mario video games, we get more prospects because people say, "Oh, they're real people," than me like saying buy this or that. And of course, if we do show the products on our story, I don't want them to see my USANA shirt. I'm going to take this shirt off after this webinar. And I'm going to go back to a shirt without USANA logo. And I'm not going to show this. I'm going to drink the shake. I want people to say, "What's that you're drinking?" Right? So that's the best stuff. Can you talk about a little bit about like some social media basics, like the profile photos and the description on the your Instagram and on your Facebook? Like how do you go about setting some of that stuff up?
Yeah. So one thing that I'll always say is if you're using or hoping to use social media as a platform to make connections and relationships, you really can't have it be set to private. I see a lot of people have private accounts and wonder why they're not attracting people. I'm like, well, they can't see, they don't know who you are. So that's first and foremost. I realize for some people in different situations, there may be a need to have a private account. If that is the case, then create a separate one that's open. And it's basically, to me, that's like, if you had a brick and mortar business, it's like your open or close sign is on. Just think of it that way, right? Are all the things that you're doing on social media, would that be representative of like a brick and mortar business with their open sign, or is it closed? So have that visual. Secondly, like I want to see your name in your profile. There are so many people that do not have their first name in their profile. And so when I'm starting up these conversations, I'll do a polite, if I see what they're talking about and I really want to like get to know them and understand them and there's no name, I always send a polite message and say, "Hi, I just love what you're doing. I'm just so curious. What is your name? I don't see it in your profile." As a nudge to be like, I need to know that there's a person behind this, right? So that goes back to your personal brand, is I need to know a little bit more about who you are as an individual. So same like Jared's mentioning his Mario. I saw Crystal beat level 20. That's awesome. People are going to be so much more connected to you if they first can see your face, they have a name, and they have a little bit of a personal insight into your life. That's why I share my dog going swimming and paddleboarding with me. That's why I share my backyard chickens, because it strikes up conversation and people will talk to me a lot more openly about that than if I were to say, "Buy this," right? So that would be another example. And then also in your bio, if you can offer, and I know a lot of people get hung up on this, but if you can just do like one sentence of how you can help people or what do you support them with, because then that's going to help kind of reach your niche. Like if it's weight loss, then you could say something, "I help women in their 40s achieve their perfect goal weight," or, something like that, that it's like one quick little punch, but the person that stumbles upon your profile, they'll say, "Oh, okay, that she can help what I'm looking for with what I'm looking for," right? So on mine, I can't even remember exactly what I have, but something about helping with mindset and wellness and that sort of thing, because that's what I love to talk about all day, every day. And that's a good starting point.
Great tips. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're
I know
welcome.
all these awesome people that are watching and also on Facebook Live. It's like, look at your Facebook profile and just make those little adjustments. Sometimes I'm in trainings and I will change my profile like mid training. I'll be like, "Oh my God, I need to add that right now." 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which means you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you do it.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Robin.
right. So, can you talk a little bit about just like going to the events or being on these webinars or things like because you've gone through a lot of personal growth and development, how has that where were you at the beginning of that journey, and how have you evolved, like the woman you've become from going to all the events?
It's again, it's not even I can't even compare. It's not even in the same like stratosphere. I was on a personal quest to really grow myself before I found USANA because of the nutrition school I went to. It was very much a mind body, like it was not just about the nutrition. It was like, what are you feeding your mindset? And so I had already kind of kick-started that journey. So that was a good foundation for me. But once I started going to our events, and once I started networking with some of the leaders and going to convention and being immersed in everything that we have to offer as a company, like on like a cell level, I could feel it shifting me. And so that's why I say it's so important to be in the energy of, even if you're not actively building your business right now, to at least show up on some sort of training, ideally weekly. I know for some people that's just like, that just doesn't feel like, well, I'm not even building the business, I don't have time to show up every week on something. But I do encourage you to, because like I said, at some point it will click and you're going to say, okay, I'm so glad because now I have this information, this energy, and I can just kind of like get the momentum going now because I've already got like the foundation laid from my personal development with these events and trainings.
So true. So true. I love what you said about like, you can't even, like, there's no difference from the person you were back then to the person you become. It's kind of like software, you know, like Microsoft 2.0 was from 20 years ago, and now you have 3.0 and 4.0. It's like Steph 5.0, Steph 6.0, Steph 7.0. Every year the software gets better, you know, and like, anyway, I don't know why I got that thought. That's kind of like what you are in your software. Like Jared 1.0 is 15 years ago. And so like each year the software gets better, if you want to call it that, you know, or the mind, or however you want to say it.
Yeah, it's so true. And what about you, Jared? Like what, like you've been on the journey for a while. I'm so curious, like how would you say you've changed from then to now?
A lot about being a good listener, and a lot about surrender. So knowing that I can't, um, you know, I can't control what someone's going to do. I can't control even like who comes into my life. Like I can visualize, I can be Mr. Law of Attraction, but that's like saying I'm happy when somebody comes to complete me. That's a
Yeah.
low level. That's desire. Desire is actually a lower level vibration. A higher level vibration is love. I'm going to give love today. I am like, whatever comes my way, I'm going to give love today. And so I've been able to like shift from just like my goals, which you still need to have, to just like making it more about contribution and love. And then it seems like the world just opens up and all these wonderful people come into my life. So that's been like probably the main shift. Thanks
I
for
love, of course, I'm just so curious because it's true. Love and gratitude. If you can like speak and live from that energy, love and gratitude, they're the highest vibrations. If you can spend most of your time in that space, you'll find everything in your life is elevated.
Yeah. And if you're having a bad day, think, well, who can I go give love to today? Who can I go give love to right now? Who can I send a text to right now? You know, and things like that. So, all right, let's open it up for questions. If you have a question for Steph, can you please type it in the chat? We have our first question from Phyllis Walker. She says, what products helped you in the beginning? And Facebook Live people, type it in and I will actually ask it from my phone. So Facebook Live people, type in your questions. Okay, go ahead. What products helped you in the beginning?
So the digestive line, 100%. I started there. I noticed such a difference. The probiotics, the HEPA, and the enzymes made a big difference for me. And I was taking the health pack at that time too, but I noticed the most significant changes were from the digestive, like so really getting that under control and then just layering on everything from there. Now I would never be able to pick a favorite. I'm just like, I love them all.
Yeah, I relate to that thing you said. You use the products like every half hour. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm like, Crystal, bring me a Rev. I just had my shake.
it's a lifestyle, right? When you really
Yeah.
embody it. Yeah.
All right. My dad, Randy Krebs, gold director from Salt Lake City, asks, how did you learn all of your social media skills?
So it was a lot of trial and error. I had never done anything that was a formal training or education or anything on social media. Going back, and I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I live pretty rural. And it was important for me. I'm also a homebody. And even though a lot of people don't think it, I'm actually very introverted. So all of those equated to me being like, I don't want to leave my house very often. So it was kind of like the best option was to get on social media and figure it out so that I could connect with others and build relationships, but I could still be like cozy in my house. And that was like the perfect setup for me. And yeah, it was just trial and error. So I just basically really authenticity, though, I will say, is like the best recipe to really start figuring out this social media thing. Like just be your most authentic self with what you're doing and posting, and it's going to start clicking and attracting the right people to you.
Beautiful. Yeah, you're right. It's trial and error. I mean, you really learn by doing it, and then your first Facebook Live is like not that good, and then your 50th one, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Sally Passain in Puyallup, Washington says, when life is coming at you, do you have a technique you use to get your mind refocused in a short amount of time?
I do. So definitely deep breaths. Like I always make a point to just get as grounded as I can, hit that pause button. Meditation is a great thing for me. I love meditation, but I don't know if you guys are all familiar with EFT, emotional freedom technique. If you're not, it's like there's a million tutorials, but it's basically you tap on different meridian points and it gets the anxiousness or the heavy energy out of your system. That has been, especially this year, that's been my go-to tool for recalibrating and resetting and just feeling refreshed in my mind and in my body. So EFT, if you're not familiar with it, I actually do some of it on my Instagram. So that would be a place. There's some IGTVs that I have a couple, and I have a few little sequences you can follow through there.
So go to Steph's IGTV and look up EFT. I also do EFT. Like you say, I deeply love and accept myself, even though I feel like a hot mess right now. And
Yeah.
rub over my heart, and then I tap on the meridians, and that does. I mean, all these techniques count. So thank you for sharing that. Lisa Aiello in San Antonio asks, how much of your social media is about USANA, and how much more is about your personal life?
So
like,
I
what's the
have,
ratio?
yeah, so I basically, in terms of, I guess a ratio that I would aim for is it's like 80% lifestyle and 20% promotional. That's what I would say for me personally. And by promotional, I'm not saying like buy this and, order this. And I'm doing a more blatant call to action, but I really, really just highlight my lifestyle, what I'm reading. I feature a lot of my team, and like I see you do that too, Jared, is like you celebrate your team, and I always make sure that I do like a snapshot of our team meetings, and I'll post it in my Instagram stories, and that creates a lot of allure because people are like, well, I want to be a part of something, right? So yeah, it probably close to 80% is lifestyle and just who I am as a person, and 20% would be more like USANA.
Beautiful. And do you mention the word USANA, or are you more creating curiosity, or like how often do you do those two things?
So I like if you look on my like I don't really mention USANA a whole bunch. Maybe one out of every 20 posts, to be honest. Now I know everyone's gonna have a different take on that, but it looks like you agree, Jared. I sprinkle it in, but it's very rare that it's just a bold in your face like USANA post. I really do think that the secret sauce is to create that curiosity. And it's not because I'm not proud of the company. Again, I showed it off the rooftops in different ways, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what works. And I'm glad that you shared that, because I think people need to know, okay, like how often do I actually say the company name or put it out there versus just creating curiosity? And it's mostly creating curiosity, when you do mention it. So this is like really great information. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Can you believe 30 minutes has gone by? Like, how did that happen? Like in a snap, right? So can you, I guess, let's go ahead and bring this interview to a close by having your like final pieces of advice. Like, what do you want to give in this recording, or to everyone watching live, they can take with them throughout the day and have a great day?
I love that question. And I should have been more prepared because I figured there'd be a question like
No,
that.
no. I want off the cuff.
No,
No.
I love it. It's great. You know, I said it once already, and I say this in every single training. I want you to be so authentic to who you are. I want to see you be your most authentic. Speak what really matters to you. Don't just go with what you think the general population wants to hear. You will stand out in the crowd and you will attract people to you if you can just be unapologetically and potently you. And if you're quirky, I want to see that. And if you have like weird little hobbies, share it, because that's what makes you human. And that's what's going to really bring people to you. Because I mean, I don't know. I don't look at someone on Instagram, for example, and be like, oh, that person's like every single person I know. I want to follow that person because they're exactly like everybody else, right? That just doesn't happen. So I want you to stand out. And it might be scary, especially if you're not used to that up until this point, but it's going to make you feel so liberated. And like, again, you're going to just notice that it works in your favor.
Oh, lovely advice. Well, thank you for sharing that. I can tell you too that like when people follow you and they watch you for like a year, they feel like they know you and you don't even know them. So sometimes you have that celebrity status when you build your social media this way. It's just interesting, right? But ultimately people buy you, and then they're like, oh, then you invite them maybe on a private message to a skincare party, or you invite them to take a look at the reset, or you invite them to a business presentation, and they're honored that they got the invite because they've been watching you for 6 months, and they're like, oh wow, this person actually invited me, right? So
it's so true.
So amazing. Well, thank you again, Steph. We really appreciate it. This has been a very enlightening interview. And let's go ahead and unmute the lines and everyone say, have an awesome day. And thank you, Steph.
Have an awesome day.
Have an awesome day.
Have a great
Thank
day,
you,
everyone.
Steph.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Steph.
Awesome day,
Bye.
Steph. Thank you. God bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you.